pretty much duplicated what I did at Memphis and May last night.
So let's start off with what kind of wing were you using?
So, I mean, usually I just pick up the whole wings out of Kroger or Walmart, just whatever grocery store is close to you. You know, I like Kroger wings. They got a little better selection. They got a couple different kinds of chicken in there.
Yeah,
yeah. Most places just got one kind of chicken.
That's
and
right.
It, but
they got that Sanderson's brand, I think, and what we see, and then they got the Heritage brand.
Heritage is what the Heritage ones are the ones that I like to cook.
Family tray pack, right?
Yep, the big pack. And
they're good sized wings.
Oh yeah. They're good sized wings, but those are the ones that I like to cook. You know, and generally just take them. You can bust them up, or you can cook them whole.
What do you? So at Memphis and May, what'd you do? Did you bust them up or cook them?
No. I cooked them whole.
Okay.
The ones y'all had last night were busted up.
Split flats.
Yeah, we split them out.
Flats with the flapper.
Yeah.
And then the drum.
I do like how you keep the flapper even if you break up that whole wing, you keep the flapper on that flat. I like that.
I mean,
I appreciate that.
I do too.
I didn't do that on purpose all the time, but you know, I got to where that's the way that's the way I do it now, because it's easier to eat when you pick it up.
Yep.
Yeah,
and you still got that flapper.
Man, there's some skinny meat on that. You eat right along that little flapper line. Shoot.
It's usually really good and crispy.
Talking to a wing expert here. I know how to eat a wing. I mean, I didn't cook them as good as you, but I can eat them.
But I do feel like the bone pulls out a little easier for that flat, and
yeah,
you know, you got the handle.
Yeah.
With the
So let's start. You took those wings and you split them. You know, you don't have to, but you did.
You don't have to, but
so what's the next step?
So once you split them, just make sure they're patted dry. You know, try to get all the moisture off the skin that you can. Pat them dry. Once you pat them dry, usually spray them down with. I like to use duck fat, but you can use some kind of cooking spray that you have. You know, just lightly coat those wings.
Getting a little fat, get the moisture off, getting fat back on.
That's right.
Do you have any like spray that you prefer if it's not duck fat?
Not really. You know,
whatever you got.
Yeah, whatever I got in the cabinet. You know, I try to
canola spray or vegetable spray or whatever.
Yeah, you can go with. I think they even make olive oil spray.
Yeah.
Any of those would probably work fine. And I probably used all of them at one point or another, so they never have a bad one off of them. So you can probably use any of them. So once I spray them down, you know, I usually. I'll just run you through the Killer Hog or the Honey Gold Hot.
Okay.
I usually put the Killer Hog's hot rub on it.
First layer.
About a medium coat, you know, light to medium coat it, first layer. And then I go back with the Swine Life grind, which is Martin M's rub, their barbecue rub. And I do
excellent on poultry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I usually do about the same, you know, amount on. It's about even.
Not heavy on either one.
Not heavy on either one. Yeah, you don't. I mean, if you like that pasty, thick, you know, bark that sets on that wing when you put a heavy rub on it, that's up to you. But I don't do that.
That's a little too muddy for me.
Yeah, it gets muddy. That's a good.
Yeah,
that's a good way to describe it. It gets muddy once you put sauce on it. It gets muddy, and I don't like muddy wings. So, so I usually do a light to medium coat of both of those on it. Once I do that, you know, by that time you should have your grill ready to go. You know, you run it up to about. You can go through. I want to cook 300 and above on the wings, on the grill. 300 to 325. I try to keep it in that range. Pellet grills are excellent to cook them on. There's not a lot of maintenance to that and watching, and so they're really easy. So you can pretty much put them on there and let them go, and you might have to move them around on your hot spots on your grill. But
do you put them on a rack, or you just drip on the grill rack itself?
I always put them just straight on the grill.
Straight on the grate.
Mm-hmm, straight on the grate. But I prefer to cook my wings in a drum.
Drum UDS, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I prefer to cook them like that.
How'd you cook them at Memphis and May?
I cooked them on a pellet grill at Memphis and May. Somebody forgot the drum.
Yeah,
forgot to bring the drum. But so I could see that, because you get the flavor on the drum is, you know, you get that extra smoked flavor. But I will say this: those wings last night off that Traeger, had an awesome smoke flavor.
They did. They had a good grill flavor.
It was not, you know, a bland at all. You could pick up some of the smoke, some of that grilled taste from them.
Yeah.
So how long? So we're at 300 degrees. We're on the grate. When are you going to start messing with them? Or are you doing flipping? How long do they go?
I usually check them about half to 3/4 way through the cook. I want to see what my skin looks like, especially on a drum. Now, when you're doing them on the drum, you know, you're on that direct heat. So generally, I'll have a heat shield in the bottom of that thing to kind of keep that direct heat off of it, and just let it circulate around.
You're still going 300 on the drum?
Still going 300.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you leave it directly over that fire in that drum, you know, just running that high, it may scorch its skin on one side or the other. But
So what's halfway? Are we talking 30 minutes or
30 to
40?
45 minutes, I want to open it up and just peek at them real quick and, pick one up and make sure that I don't need to turn them over. Because sometimes on your pellet grills, they will get a little more cooked on the bottom side where it's touching the grate, and I want that wing to be even. Especially if I'm cooking in a contest, yes.
Yeah.
I want both sides even.
35, 40 minutes, flip them.
Yeah.
Same thing?
Same thing. Let them run for 300 degrees. And then at that hour mark, you need to come back and start probing them.
So is that your test? Are you picking them up and pulling on them? You just sticking them with a thermometer?
No, I'm just sticking with the thermometer. Once I see that 200 mark, and your flats are going to get done faster than your drums. And if you want them done at the same time, the exact same time, you may want to stick your drums on there a little early.
So the drums take longer than the flats.
The drumette's going to take a little longer than the flats. Yeah,
know that. I guess
it depends on size too.
Sometimes
you get them. Yeah, sometimes you get one every now and then a wing that's got a drum about the big as your thumb. It's going.
Yeah,
it'll finish out about like a flat.
But watching that internal temperature, that's one of the questions I always get. My skin's rubbery. Chicken's not coming off the bone. What can I do? I'm cooking at this temp. First, that 300 degrees is key when you're doing chicken. Yep. And getting the moisture off that wing before you season. That's an excellent tip. And then probing it and knowing, yes, it's done. It's safe to eat at 165, but a wing is not good till it gets up close to 200. Yeah. And they can take it. I mean, you think about it, there's not that much meat on a wing. I mean, it's mainly skin. Yeah. It's got some fat under that skin. And there's some meat there. They're good. It's my favorite piece of chicken. I love them. It's football food. But anyway, that's the key. Take those wings up to that high. Don't be scared to run them up 195, 200 degrees.
No, I don't think I don't have ever dried one out running it up to 195, 200. And I mean, some of those last night were about 202, 203. They went that far and they weren't dry. So
one thing I like about taking them up far as they jump off the bone. They're still moist. They still got plenty of juice in the wing, but it comes off clean in a bite. And there's nothing better than that.
Can't stand having to pull meat off.
You have to work on it. Yeah, you shouldn't have to work on a chicken wing.
No,
it should. It's not falling apart, but when you put it in your mouth and apply a little teeth pressure. It's coming off. So, at what point are you mixing up your sauce you're going to put them in? Are you making that up while the?
Yeah, once I got them on the grill, put the wings on the grill. I come back inside, start working on my sauce. So I'm putting that, mixing that up in a bowl. I get my all my cold ingredients in there because you want to heat that sauce up. That's key. You don't want to be putting hot chicken wings down in cold sauce. And I always toss my wings too.
So let's talk about this hot honey gold sauce. How can somebody go about? They may not have all the ingredients you have. They may not have the championship hot honey gold sauce. But let's start them off. I'll
give you a good basic.
Okay, let's start it off. I'm not asking anybody for the secret. I give my secrets out. I'm not asking anybody else to. Because you've got a few more wing contests you want to win. Let's start with that hot honey gold sauce.
So first thing is your base is going to be your Carolina Gold sauce, which I use
Cattleman's.
It's a really good sauce.
Carolina Gold.
And you can pick those up in small bottles. You can get them in half gallons, and you can get them in a full gallon. We got some full gallons here that we have. And I use that. And then I use Frank's Red Hot Wing Sauce.
The wing sauce. Not Frank's Red Hot sauce.
Not the hot sauce, the wing sauce itself.
What does it have already, that butter flavor mixed
It's already got, it's already broke up.
Probably got an oil, or it's probably not real butter. It's probably some kind of oil.
Yeah. And then, put in Killer Hog's hot sauce, and then I mix butter into all that. And a little
extra butter into that?
Yes.
How much? So let's give a basic measurement and get them going. We're talking cup?
So.
Or do you do a bottle?
No. So if you got the half gallon, just say you got the half gallon, let's see what the measurements will be on that. See, I don't have this wrote down. I know it about heart,
this is
so it's an eyeball.
You do it by feel.
Well, I do it, I check it and see what it tastes like.
Yeah.
But I'll take that little half gallon. I use about 3/4 of that. So you're looking at.
That's a good bit.
A quarter. I make a lot of it when I make it because that's just the way I've always done it. You can break it down further, but once I do that, I put let's just say we use a whole half gallon. I'm gonna put about a half a cup to a cup of the wing sauce, the Frank's Red Hot, depending on how hot you want it or how vinegary you want it. I don't like mine too vinegary. I want you to be able to get those notes, but not too much. It ain't a hot wing.
Because that mustard sauce has some vinegar.
Yeah, it does. And
the
then
butter, stick of butter.
Yeah, well, half a stick. I'm gonna put about a half a stick of butter in there, a little bit of Worcestershire, and some spicy honey.
Like Mike's hot honey or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. No dry seasoning goes in the sauce at all. You don't have to do that. Okay.
Not on this one.
Okay. And so you mix that up, and then you bring it up to a simmer, or do you have an ideal temperature that you like it to be?
If you don't have I have a stainless steel bowls that I like to heat my sauce in.
Okay.
I bought these stainless steel mixing bowls years ago. I got deep, they'll hold about 2 to 3 quarts of sauce, and they're great for the grill. So I'll put them on the grill, let that sauce come up, really slow, or put them on a hot eye, and then just stir it until, do not let it boil.
Oh, you don't want to bring it to
No.
That's too hot.
Yeah, it's too hot. If you see it start bubbling, you need to get it out of there.
Yeah. You see a few bubbles, it's ready.
Yeah, and then just gradually stir that, or you can put it in a plastic bowl or some kind of microwave safe dish and just heat it up slow. Go a minute, pull it out, stir it, check it,
Gotcha.
put it back in 30-second intervals till you get it up to where it's warm and it's hot enough it's not boiling.
All right. So our wings are done. They've temped out.
They temp out.
Take them off the grill. How do you put the sauce to them?
All right. So usually I pull all my wings off, put them in a pan. I've got them sitting there. I take one of these. What is the bowls that the cleared bowls with the red top?
Oh yeah, they're just like
They're
The
perfect.
real Rubbermaid with a snap lid?
Rubbermaid.
yeah, they're the cheapest Rubbermaid
Those
you
are
can
the
get.
best things to shake wings.
Throwaway, yeah.
Takeaways or whatever they're called.
Taking throwaways. I don't know.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you can reuse them.
Get them in a 2-pack at like Kroger or Walmart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's usually what I toss some wings in, because you can put the lid on that and you can shake it. It don't get all over you.
5 or 6, or dozen at a time maybe.
Usually do 4 to 6 at a time.
So small batches.
Small batches.
How much sauce you reckon?
I pour about a cup of sauce in there for each batch.
Okay.
And pour that in there, toss your wings, pull them back out, plate them up how you want to. You're done.
That's it. Working batches.
That's it, working batches.